Yo, what's the Disney, man? I've been watching all that Occupy, first Wall Street, Occupy San Francisco, Chicago, Atlanta, Jacksonville, Tennessee. It goes on and on. And people will probably say this to me, well, what are you doing? So you're not in any position to talk. But I do want to offer some advice. And the advice I want to offer to that movement is, that's cool and all that. I respect that. I respect y'all going out there, you know, risking your freedom and all that to get a point across about capitalism. But the main way that we can, you know what I'm saying, get some type of attention really drawn to the whole situation is to shut this motherfucker down for about a week. Shut the whole country, shut the whole world down. That means bus drivers, you don't go to drive that bus. You know what I'm saying? Engineers, you don't go to the train stations. You know? Nurses, you don't go to the hospitals. Bankers, nah, you're going to work. You're going to work because you know this is a big agenda for you. But that's the only way. We got to stop every moving wheel of this world. We have to, if we can stop that for about a week, then maybe we'll be taken seriously. But as long as we keep marching and putting up posters and all that, we will not be taken seriously. It's going to take true action for the powers that be to even want to bend a little bit. Because history tells everything. And history is told in the past that marching and all that, it really doesn't accomplish anything. It's really about the action. The civil rights movement, the marching was a small part. But you know what the action was behind it? Them going to jail. You know? Getting beat with the, you know what I'm saying, the dogs and all that. It was the action behind it. It really wasn't the marching that did anything. And then, to not go into that too deeply, but that spawned several other movements within that whole era, and that's what sparked change. But it's ultimately about action. So we can occupy Chicago, we can occupy New York, we can do all that. But until we really shut some shit down, us, the working people of this country and this world, then it's all for nothing. We the ones that are in charge, not them. You know? We the ones that run this shit. We keep this shit moving. So, in turn, y'all should know that you have the upper hand, not your boss. If everybody takes a day off, the week off, what are they really gonna do? But see, that's the fear that they use to control you. Oh, I won't have a job. How I'm gonna pay my note? How I'm gonna pay this? How I'm gonna pay that? And until we can get over the fear, until we can get over that hump in life, until you can get over that in life in general, yo, dog, you in trouble. Because that's what they use to control you. That's what media is all about. Terrorism. When they use that word terrorism and all these things, they use that because they tap into your subconscious, which sparks fear. Oh, they tell you 10,000 jobs is lost. Oh, now you scared. So now you go to work with a different attitude. Before you like, man, fuck this job. Now you like, yo, this is all I got. You know? And you praying every night to your God, and you tell him, please, God, I need my job. Don't let me lose my job. You know? The fear. You know? I'm not talking about violence. I'm not talking about picking up a pistol and going in a post office and hurting innocent people. I'm talking about we shut this shit down. I do it if you do it. Hell, to prove I make a post every hour on the hour that I'm off for that week. I do it. I'll call in because that's how strongly I feel about this shit, man. Because number one, I don't like to be made a fool of. That's number one. I don't give a fuck how much education you think you have. You know? Common sense. Yo, you got common sense. You smarter than a person with a PhD. Real talk. You got common sense. And if you got knowledge yourself. Those two. If you have those two things, then can't nobody tell you nothing. And fortunately for me, I have those two things. I possess those two things. That's why I'm not a slave to anything anymore. And that's how you got to look at this. You know? The marching is cool. All that's cool. I understand that. I understand the frustration. But the main things we have to do is start educating ourselves. I'm not talking about on the college sense of education. That's not education. That's somebody reciting to you what somebody recited to them, and in turn you recite it, and if you recite it well enough, you get an A or a B. The only part of education where it's totally up to you is the math and the sciences. That's why so many people are poor in those. You can't bullshit your way through those. If you don't know the formulas, you know that's why a lot of people struggle with those. That's a whole nother video. But we have to learn more about this political process, so we can try to at least put halfway decent people in, instead of all these crooks that's in Congress now that are just providing big business with these laws because big business is the one that donates to their campaign. Look who Obama bailed out first. These rich, wealthy bankers who in turn took the money right in front of our faces, mind you, and gave themselves raises and everything. Bought jets and everything in front of our face. How you gonna be that disrespectful to do in front of our face like that? I don't agree with capitalism. Capitalism is a myth. It's a lie. You know, the main major companies, corporations in this country, in this world, are run on monopolies. They run a monopoly system, which is supposedly against the law. Nah. What they do is they buy smaller companies and just rename them. I was learning about that. You know what I'm saying? That's what they did with Standard Oil. That's where Mobil came from, Exxon, Texaco, BP is British Petroleum, and so on and so forth. Shell. He just bought smaller core. He just downsized. Still making the same money because all the money's coming back to one person. Yeah. You know, but I've realized something. You know, living in this world, life is a business. It's just all just business, really. If you know what I'm saying? If you really sit down and think about it, it's all just business. When you get fired from a job, it's just business. It's nothing. It just is what it is. 90% of the time, you know. If that person gets that job, it's just business. Even, man, to the criminal system, they turn putting people away into a business. These police have to make certain amount of quotas a month. So some people are unjustly in prison. Prisons make money. For that person that lay there for X amount of years, a lot of these private prisons make money. And the legislators, the law-making people, they're getting cut checks. But we call the people in jail convicts. So what are y'all, legal convicts? Because apparently you think it's alright robbing American people and stealing from them. That's okay with you. So doesn't that make you a criminal? We people out here working 8, 10, 12 hours a day, 5, 6 days, sometimes 7 days a week to feed their families, and it's like we're not being taken seriously. Like for some reason, you think it ain't gonna reach your doorstep. Which it is eventually. You're under this impression that you're back up in, you know, your little subdivision, your little gated community, and we're eventually not going to come in there. When people are hungry and people are broken, people got kids to feed, what do you expect them to do? I can't go to the person next door to me, they ain't got shit either. So we coming for you. This is what it is. You people in so-called power, y'all have, you know what I'm saying, y'all in a position to change something and to allow people to make an honest living. Like myself, who want to work an honest job and don't sell drugs or rob or steal from people. But nah, you want to force people into a corner. Then say, well, you didn't have to do that. Like that GOP candidate. You know? To a certain extent, he was right about the successful part. But I don't need that motherfucker to tell me that. You know? Because it's one thing to be successful in business, then you switch to politics. Now it's all about power. And you're using your money for influence. So you can, yet again, manipulate the American people. I trust no politicians. I never will trust a politician. If you deal in politics, you're dirty. That's across the board. Nobody means well. The only politicians that I might consider is not as dirty is the ones that do it, you know, so let's say out of like a cause. That's why they get into politics. Like, you know, like to pass the bill for the what's the Amy's bill, whatever, you know, for the kidnap victim, or the gun law or something like that, you know, after somebody was shot and is a victim. I can understand that. But all you politicians, senators and all that, man, y'all crooks. Clinton is a crook. Both Clintons are crooks. Man, it's just so many. There's no need for me to even call names. But the main thing you gotta realize, you gotta know your politics. Democrats and Republicans are one. They work together. They look like they're beefing, that's all the act. You shouldn't even believe that. How can these wealthy, powerful people actually, what are they disagreeing about? They're both getting served on both sides. They're both getting paid. But one promises you they're gonna, oh man, they're gonna be the best thing since apple pie, and they're gonna do this and do that, and you believe it like a dumbass. Anybody who's voted in the last 4 elections, you believed it like a dumb fucking ass. Like, these people are just gonna drastically change your life. I seen it with Barack. People are just crying, oh my God, we gotta blame president. Like, he's just gonna change, like your life has just changed. And now, they want to point the finger at homeboy. Now, we've been in a war for 10 years, but he's the reason for the war. And Libya and so on and so forth. Like I say, man, y'all be on this computer, start using it for what it is meant for. You know what I'm saying? To empower you and enlighten you. You be on YouTube. When you done checking my videos out, check other people and other documentaries. Look at my favorites. It's a lot of things that you can learn. I learn from other people, from just going to their pages. Netflix, they got a lot of good documentaries on there. All type of social documentaries that deal with these things that we're wondering about. That I can't go into detail with the amount of time that I have. That can tell you about the meat industry and big corporations like Walmart and why does all our animals get fed corn. You know, about the oil industry. These are things you need to be peeping. Start enlightening yourself. Then you won't be so surprised, and all this stuff won't just be one big surprise to you. Because you'll see that over the hundreds of years, thousands of years, this has always been their purpose. Money, greed, and power. When you just want to look at things like the Illuminati, don't study Professor Griff. He's talking about rappers. That's totally irrelevant. Go to type in Fritz Springmeier. Fritz Springmeier. He's written books on it. You know, he got the documentaries on it. David Icke, he's one of them too. Alex Jones is a clown. You know what I'm saying? He's just making a living off this. And yet again, he's making a living off fear. He's trying to scare you. These people can inform you and enlighten you. They're not trying to scare you anything. They're trying to let you know what they know. So then, you ain't in the darkness no more. You're enlightened. You're illuminated, so to speak. You know about all these families and how they've been doing this for hundreds of years, man. This is nothing new. But now that people are getting tired, so now we getting tired. It's not time for violence. It's time to get your mind right. Get educated. Be aware. That's the only way you can fight the enemy. You have to be aware. You have to know his moves. You can't calculate every move, but you can be on point for some of this stuff. Alright? Just thought I'd put that out there, yo. Know what I'm saying? Yo, y'all be easy, man. Alright?